Well, always articulate, always knowledgeable and always smiling. That can only mean one thing, that my next guest is Jimmy Douglas. Well, Jimmy, a few drives on the car. Let's go straight to the free-for-all. Mac Da Vinci, he's absolutely flying at the moment.
He is. His last two wins have been unreal, really, the spots he's come from, especially last start. He wasn't entitled to win and he still was able to get over him. So, yeah, hopefully he keeps going.
Peter Hansen was telling me, the trainer of Mac Da Vinci last week, that the horse seems to be fresh mentally now that he's been able to put him out in the paddock for a while.
Yeah, he has moved out to Cobbitty, Peter, and it seems to have clicked with the horse. Also, he's probably had a little bit of confidence from that first win, and if he can keep that run going, obviously he's up in class again this week, racing horses like Spirit of St. Louis, but yeah, he's racing that well, and his sectionals are that good that I'm sure they'll know he's there.
Very strong field, Jimmy, but that also means that the tempo was going to be genuine from the outset, and that will suit you.
Yeah, I hope so. It doesn't always turn out that way. The Len Smith Mile wasn't run overly quickly, but hopefully this week it is, and yeah, the more speed on the better for him. He seems to be able to follow any speed at all, Mac Da Vinci, and still produce that quick last quarter. So the draw's not great. We're probably going to end up in the second half of the field towards the tail, but he's shown he can overcome that, and hopefully he can get over the top of them again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. The fact that he has drawn out wide, could that be a plus, the fact that you're going to have to drive him quietly?
Yeah, I think definitely in this grade, at this track, is certainly the best way to drive him. It seems to be. His last two wins suggest that. So hopefully there is a bit of speed on, like you say, and we can end up with a bit of luck not too far from them, and he can, line them up at the top of the straight and hopefully get pretty close.
Well, we're giving Mirrors plenty of raps for his training performance and Mac Da Vinci for the way he's performed, but you've driven him an absolute perler in both those races.
Oh, well, thank you. Very kind of you to say that, but it makes it very easy having a horse that can reel off the sectionals that he can. Like last start on the Tuesday, he wasn't really entitled to win, but he had to run a 25.5 quarter to do it, and not many can do that. So when they can run a quarter like that, it always makes you look good.
Well, it's nice to have a horse fit both as far as his body is concerned and also fresh mentally.
For sure, he's a beautiful horse. He always has been. He's always been, a top line horse, and he's actually really good to drive too. He's still a stallion, and he comes back to you, and if you ask him to go, he goes. He's a beautiful horse. He really is, and it's a pleasure to drive a horse like him.
In the third event, you're driving Kate's Virtue for your good mate Ian Wilson. Nicely drawn in gate 2, but strong opposition.
It is a very strong opposition. She was really good here last Tuesday. She's getting better all the time. Her last quarter last Tuesday was 26.5. So obviously a big step up in grade going to the Saturday Company, especially over the 2300, which is a bit unknown for her as well. So it's good. She gets a chance at a race like the Carousel, and drawn good, she gets a chance to qualify. So hopefully she can.
Over to race 5 and number 2, King Domino, going exceptionally well for Rodney Blythe. Doing a good job with this fella.
Yeah, he is, absolutely. He rang me the other night. I've never driven the horse before, but he was quietly confident that he'd run a good race, and he was excited to bring him up to Menangle. So I'm looking forward to it. It's always a challenge to drive these horses at their first start at Menangle, and yeah, it's quite exciting to drive a horse like him.
Yeah, his form at Wagga and Young is hard to knock, and from the good gate, at least you'll be able to give him a nice smother.
Exactly, and the 2300 sort of it is important if you draw good, because otherwise you just get too far back. I suppose that's any distance, but hopefully he can show that he's good enough for Menangle and good enough for the Carousel. And again, it'd be lovely to qualify him for the final, but Rob was quietly confident, so hopefully he runs a good race.
You sound quietly confident. Mac Da Vinci is certainly going to let the others know that he's in the race on Saturday night. A good mate of ours, in fact a good mate of harness racing, Graham Watts, has been on the wrong side of Lady Luck of Ladies. Had shoulder surgery, and then he got kicked by a horse which badly opened up his thigh, and I believe, Jimmy, he's on the way back. Yeah,
I believe so. I missed a call from him yesterday, and I tried to ring him back and couldn't get onto him, but as from what I've heard, he's doing well, and he's back working the horse again and back recovering, so that's good. He went, he got some good help, he went to the hospital and did the right thing, so hopefully he's on the mend and ready to go again soon.
Now let's hope he can have a bit of luck with his horses.
Exactly, hopefully.
Well, Jim, as always, great to catch up with you, and good luck Saturday night.
Thanks, Pink.